Good morning and welcome to the Knit Shift episode 89. My name is Laura and today is Saturday, April 29th, 2017. Almost forgot the year, that's not a good start. I'm joined by Gracie, my canine co-host, who is just off camera here. And I'm really hoping you guys notice an improvement in quality of the camera because I'm recording on the new camera I got earlier this week. I've been using it for some FO photos and I snapped a couple selfies with it, and it's just really a nice camera, and I'm really hoping it improves the podcast quality. So we'll see about that, shall we? Today's episode will probably be a short one. I've been out of pocket for a couple weeks. Gracie, really? You need to sit right here? Really? I have no idea what the focus is doing right now for the two of us here. Gracie, I'm sorry, sweetie. You gotta get down. You gotta get down, baby girl. Sorry about that. And sorry for the glare on my glasses. I hate when other podcasters apologize all the time because I think you have nothing to apologize for, but I can see the glare in my glasses on the screen, so I'm not gonna apologize for what I just apologized for. Anyway, show notes can be found at theknitshift.com, although I don't plan on having any show notes this week because it will be a very short episode. I am on Instagram as Laura Mahalski. I am on Ravelry as Yarnstormer, and we do have a group for the podcast over on Ravelry. If you go to the groups tab and search for The Knit Shift, you will find us. This podcast is available on iTunes and YouTube and will be embedded at the blog, and I would love it if you subscribed in any of those locations. I think that's it for all the administrative stuff. We do have a knit along wrapping up in just a day. It ends tomorrow, so probably first thing Monday morning I will turn off the comments in our FO and chatter thread. It's the Love Yourself cowl. It started, I believe, February 1st, so it's been going on for 3 months now. It was a chance to knit yourself something after the holidays. The only requirements were that it's for yourself and that you use at least 50 grams of yarn. Knitting, crochet, spinning would be fine too, although I don't think anyone has turned in any spins for themselves, which is totally fine. There have been some amazing FOs in the thread, and there's been quite a flurry of FOs in the past few days as people are getting their projects in right under the deadline. Oh, and you did have to start the project after February 1st, so no lingering whips for this one. I don't have any plans yet for future knit-alongs, but I'm gonna keep my thinking cap on, and maybe in early June we can think about another knit-along, so stay tuned for that. And as a reminder, the winner in the FO thread will be receiving this beautiful skein of yarn from Wonderland Yarns. It's a beautiful springy color. It is 100% merino, and it is quite generous yardage, 512 yards. So look at that beautiful blue-green here. Just gorgeous. So, and there will be all sorts of goodies like lotions, and I have some chocolates, so hopefully I'll seal them safely so they hopefully get there and aren't too melty. Some soaps, some goodies, some odds and ends, just little treats for you guys. And I'll draw a prize from the FO thread, and I will draw a prize from the chatter thread. So I will announce those on the next episode of the Knit Shift, which should be a week from Monday, so that's May 8th, I believe. I believe that is it for administrative stuff. I have one FO and one WIP to share with you this week. The FO is something I shared with you last week, but now it has been blocked, and I took some photos of it this week at work. I waited. It's a color scheme that doesn't go with a lot of things, so I waited until I had the perfect dress, and then I asked my coworker to take some photos of me on the roof at work, so that's what we did. So this is my Hello Hello shawl, and even though you saw it last week, I wanted to show you just how big it is now that it's washed and blocked. And to wash and block it, I soaked it in warm water with some, I didn't use soak and I didn't use Eucalan. I used the stuff from Bijou Basin, the name of which is escaping me, and if I think of it, I'll put it on the bar here. But it's a lovely, lovely scent, and it's my favorite will wash. So it grew a ton, and when I blocked it, I didn't even pin it out. I just washed it, I soaked it, didn't have to rinse it, squeezed the water very gently, and then I sat it on a towel, and I rolled the towel up and I squished it with my hands, and I look like I'm milking a cow right now. I don't know. So I squished it to take as much excess water out as possible, and then I laid it out on my biggest beach towel where it's still, the ends still went over the edges of the beach towel. So the wingspan on this is bonkers, even though it's not super deep. So here it is. This is the end I started knitting at. This is stockinette with eyelets. No, I'm sorry, Grace, you cannot get on my lap right now, baby girl. You cannot. I'm sorry. I can't show FOs while you're sitting on my lap, Bubba. She's like, I don't really care. Not my problem. You're a lap and I need it. Sorry guys for all the Gracie interruptions. I know most of you don't. I think most of you don't mind, and if you do mind, you aren't telling me, which I appreciate. I'm a firm believer in if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So here's the first section of the blue, and then I began striping with the green. And at its deepest point, it's maybe 2.5 feet, and then you finish with garter in the green. And if I hold it up, you can see the end here, and then this end is still dangling. So it's like at least a 7-foot span. So this will be the perfect light cowl to wrap around my neck. It actually goes around like 3 times. So while I'm talking here and wrapping it around my neck, I will insert some photos of me modeling it on the roof at work. So this is it wrapped twice around very loosely, and I could have gone 3 times because look at how long these tails are. But right now it's wrapped around twice. And I just think this will be really nice and versatile to wear in the winter or in the fall when I just need a little something over my shoulders to stay warm. Even at work this week, the AC has been on quite strong, and I've put this over my shoulders when I wore a sleeveless dress. So that's been really nice. So there you have it, my first shawl of the year. I've not had as many FOs as I would like. I've wanted to be knitting, but life has just sort of gotten a little crazy in the past few weeks. And normally I would save this sort of chatter for the end after I talk about my whips, but I don't always have to stick to my usual format. So Josh is out of town this week visiting family in Texas. So I've been on my own with Gracie. I've had a really rough week at work. I've had to edit some really heavy stories that have really kind of weighed on me, and I haven't slept well after I've had to work on them. And you know, sometimes unpleasant things happen at work that you have to deal with, and I had some of those this week too. One of which was my fault, and one of which was not my fault. So it's just been kind of a crappy week, to be perfectly honest, and I just didn't have time last weekend to film, and I wasn't really feeling it, and my camera came late Monday night, so normally I would have recorded Sunday or Monday, and I was just really excited for my new camera, so I just didn't get around to recording. So I apologize for that. I really do like to record every week, but it's just not always possible. Coupled with some other random stuff that I won't go into, it's just been a long week, and I have to work. I'm working 6 days this week, I'm working tomorrow, and I'm also working one day of my next weekend. So I'm feeling kind of tired and worn out, and I still have more to do, unfortunately. So I'm just trying to keep it together. I'm trying to knit where I can, even if it's just 1 row a night, and hopefully I'll be back in the swing of things soon. That's my goal. So work will be busy soon. The interns that I manage begin. One starts a week from Monday. The other starts in a month, so that will increase my workload some, working with them, which I'm looking forward to. You know, last summer was the first summer I managed interns, and they're really smart, and they're just really eager, and it was a really enjoyable experience for me, and I think it was for them too. So I'm looking forward to this summer as well. So without further ado, we're here to talk about knitting. So let me pull out my one work in progress, my one lowly work in progress. I'm keeping this in my Nikozuki Knits bag. And this is a pair of socks I cast on last week for a little treat for myself. I feel like I needed something fresh for myself on the needles, and this is what came of it. These are some socks for me. Sorry guys, I'm getting the hang of this camera. So this is Hey Lady Hey sock yarn in the Prim colorway. It's a 75-25 superwash merino nylon, and I am knitting these 2 at a time. And yeah, I really love these. I'm knitting these on a size 0 needle, which is smaller than usual, but I'm finding that I really need to knit skinny yarn, which 75/25 often is. I really need to knit that on a size 0 to get the gauge that I want for myself. And I actually started knitting a pattern, if you can see, like right here. Oh, my nails match perfectly. If you can see right there, I started knitting the blueberry waffles pattern, and it took me all of 2 seconds to decide, 2 rows to decide that I didn't want to knit a pattern for the duration of this sock. So back to stockinette. It's a design feature, and here's what the underside looks like in all stockinette. So really pretty pinks with all these speckles. I love the way it's knitting up, and it's been a treat to knit for myself here and there this week. So I'm normally not a big pink person, but here I have pink socks and a pink bag, and I have a 3-week-old manicure. So there you have it, all the pink. From Gracie and I think I'll sign off. Again, short episode. I know a lot of you guys appreciate the short episodes, but this is short even for me. So thanks for bearing with me while I figure things out the past few weeks, and I will talk to you guys soon, okay? Take care. Bye.